I'm here to talk about something that I thought it would be really good. I thought it would be something that would help you, and because it's helped me. And I actually had this very thing happen to me today. So because of that, I try and share the experiences I have because I want you guys to benefit from them, so that you can start. So that if you can learn from my from my pain, then maybe you won't have to go through it yourself. So today started to do something different, right? I tried to take action on a goal and move towards making some things happen for myself, right? And the thing that always happens happened to me, right? And it's what always happens when you try and change. Like say you're trying to lose weight, right? Say you're trying to you're trying to make more money, you're trying to get a job, you're trying to move out of your apartment into a nicer place, you're trying to buy a house, you're trying to buy a business, you're trying to buy a new car, like you're trying to take a family vacation, like you're trying, like whatever, to try and change, to try and build, to try and anything that you're trying to do to better yourself and better your life, right? Any of that stuff. The same thing happens every single time without fail, and it's a fact of life. But I think a lot of people they misinterpret this outcome as this opposition as basically like I shouldn't be doing this, and that's not true, and it's not right. But it's what happens every time we try and change. So have you ever done like tried to lose weight? Okay, day one. And you're like, you get all amped up, you're like, all right, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds this month, and you're so excited and you're ready. And so you get your meal plan all out, you're like, this is all I'm gonna eat, I'm only gonna eat this many calories, right? And you're like, I got this dialed in, and here's my workout plan and everything. And then your husband or your wife brings home your favorite pizza, and you're like, oh, it's not on my plan, how am I ever gonna lose weight, I gotta eat it, they brought it for me, or you just decide this stuff and you put it in your head, you're like, I'm gonna do this thing, and then somebody invites you out for dinner, and it's to like your favorite Mexican restaurant, and Mexican food isn't that healthy. It's bad. It's bad to say, it just isn't. But it's good. We all love it. It's just, But anyway, so that's not the point of the video. The point is that every time you try and make a positive change in your life, you are going to attract the negative forces in the world to come after you. It's like all of a sudden you've painted a target on your back, and now all of a sudden you're up for grabs. Like stuff is gonna come in and oppose you and make it so that you're basically not it's gonna make it difficult, right? The same thing happens every time. So you get on there and you're like, basically you can expect this, you can almost predict it, you can almost say that I wonder what bad thing is coming because I'm trying to take action on my goals today. Like that's what you can do. So today I went out and I did something I haven't done in a long time, but I went out and I did this thing, and all of a sudden I started getting all this negative backlash, right? And what's funny is that what I did involved about 50 people, okay? And one person is who I'm hearing from, and so that negativity. So it's normally not the majority, but it's just kind of funny because you have these things and they always happen, and it's like life is testing you, and it's testing you to see how serious you are about this goal, and it's testing you to see like if you're gonna stick with it, how tough you are, like your resilience, whether you're actually gonna go through with it or not. So when you decide to like better yourself, you decide to change and you make a plan and everything. Build into that plan some resilience for what's coming, because I guarantee you that every time you try and make a positive change in your life, that there's going to be things on the other side that try and oppose your change and keep you the same. Change is hard. Change is one of those things that, like, to change your habits and everything. I talked to a friend of mine who's stopping smoking, okay? And he was telling me that he finds himself picking up his lighter, right? And walking to the door and realizing he doesn't have any cigarettes to smoke. Like, that's a habit that he's established, right? And so I think that's just amazing that that's what we do. So to change that habit, like he's having to consciously think about this, you know. And if you're a smoker out there, man, we did the math on him, and I would encourage you to do the same thing. He spent 2 hours and 10 minutes every day, either walking to and from the door or smoking. All that minutes combined is 2.5 hours a day over the course of the day. And I'm like, man, you just got 2.5 hours back on your day. That's amazing. So he made a positive change, and now he's got this. It's just this, like, he has to like continue with it. And so what I'm telling you is, if you ever want to make a difference in your life, and you ever want to go forward and push forward, like, you have to expect that life's going to push back at you. You've got to expect that life is going to be, it's going to basically test you, and it's going to wonder how tough you really are, if you're really serious about this goal or not. And if you're serious, then you'll basically push through that stuff. You'll put it out of your mind. Of course it hurts. Of course it's not fun, but if you really want this change, then you're going to push through it. And that's what life wants to know. And the people around you, you go on a diet, your friends and your family, your parents maybe are like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Come on, just have a little taste of this, just have a little bit of that. That's what happens. And so if you notice that, and you guys are probably laughing about this, it's happened to me. Like, the day that you're like, hey, I'm going to get healthier, somebody brings in donuts to work. Right? The day that you decide that you're going to be more active, your day is so full that it's over before you had time to exercise. The day that you decided that you're gonna like be a nicer parent, right? You decide you're gonna be nicer to your kids. Like, your daughter decided to cut her own hair, and now she looks like a boy. Like, that's the kind of stuff that happens when you decide. So you make these resolutions to change. And that's the way it goes. Like, you make these resolutions to change, and then you get tested. And so what I'm encouraging you with today is to expect that stuff, because that's just life. There's nothing wrong with your goal. There's nothing wrong with your level of action. There's nothing wrong with what you're trying to do. It's good. But know that opposition is part of it. Like, it's part of it. And if there isn't any opposition, then you're not doing anything worth it. I promise you, if you're doing something worth it, you're going to have haters. You're going to have people that try and discourage you. You're going to have your overweight friends that want you to stay overweight so that they're comfortable around you. And if you lose a bunch of weight, they're going to be uncomfortable, and they don't want that. And so they're going to try and discourage you and tell you you're okay with how you look, and like, you don't need to lose weight. And really, they're uncomfortable. And so it's from stuff like that's the kind of forces that we're dealing with in the world. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, because it happened to me today. Like, today I took action. Today I got positive results. I got negative results. I'm dealing with some haters, like, no problem. This is just the name of the game. It's just what happens, and I recognize that, and I know that, but some people don't. So if you're feeling discouraged because your goal, because you're getting pushback from the world on what you're trying to create, just know that that's part of it. That comes with the package. That's part of the game, and you're going to have to get tough, and you're going to have to push through that stuff, and you're going to have to get better. And as that stuff happens, you're going to hit your goals, and you're going to find confidence, and the stuff that happens, you're all of a sudden going to process it a little differently and realize that your goals are worth it. Life's never going to get any easier. You're just going to have to get a little stronger. So that's my message for you guys today. And I encourage you, set huge goals. They're worth it. They get you into action. And when people ask why you're doing it, people say you don't need to do this or that. People say you're okay the way you are. Like, something's either growing or it's dying. And if it's not growing, then it's dying. So make sure that you're growing. Make sure that you're pushing forward. Make sure that you're building your dreams, because at the end of this whole thing, you're going to go all the way through life, and you're gonna die, and you'll either die having all the success or having a mediocre life. And so I encourage you to push towards goals, to make things happen, to do things just for the fun of it, just to see if you can, and test your limits, because one of the things that makes life so exciting is seeing who we can become in the process of it. And if you stay the same, you don't get to experience that joy. So you guys have an amazing, amazing day, amazing Thursday, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.